From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
G'day, Radyo Pilipinas World Service can also be heard on shortwave broadcast through the facilities of the United States Agency for Global Media or Voice of America on the following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. I'm Leo Magpayo, and this is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. voiced confidence that the San Juanico Bridge will be fully operational by mid-2026, with each lane capable of carrying up to 33 metric tons. During an inspection of the bridge in Tacloban City, the President said he was very happy that the full restoration is very close to their deadline. President Marcos noted that rehabilitation works are progressing well, with the bridge now able to support 15 metric tons per lane. The chief executive added that the Tacloban city government is considering implementing one-way traffic at night to allow trucks carrying up to 30 tons to pass through. President Marcos Jr. said he hopes the structural issues uncovered in the San Juanico Bridge will prompt government agencies to strengthen regular inspection and maintenance of major infrastructure. He lamented that the retrofitting, costing about 1.1 billion pesos, could have been avoided with proper upkeep. The 2.16-kilometer bridge linking Samar and Leyte had been limited to vehicles weighing only up to 3 metric tons since May due to structural concerns. The restriction disrupted the movement of heavy vehicles, forcing the use of alternative routes and expanded roll-on, roll-off, or RoRo services to maintain cargo flow between the two provinces. The bridge has since reopened to two-way traffic under a new weight limit, easing the transport of goods and passengers across Eastern Visayas.
Maalala ninyo, nung unang sinara ito at ginawang limitado ang traffic dito sa San Juanico Bridge. Mabuti naman, medyo na pabilis ang trabaho at ngayon pwede na natin buksan ito for 15 tons na truck. Dati hindi nakatawid, kailangan pa mag-roro at umikot sa mga ibang port na ginawa natin. Ayun, yung malalaki na lang ang kailangan pa sumakay sa barko. We are hoping for a total return of the bridge's function to allow 33 tons two ways. Hopefully by the middle of next year, third quarter of next year, fully functional na ito. I hope that this serves as a lesson to all future administrators. We would not have to do any of this kung yung every 3 years ini-inspeksyon, inaayos, constant and regular maintenance ang gagawin. That is what's the most important lesson I think that we should all learn from this. But I'm very happy that I'm able to say now it is very close to our deadline, and so the San Juanico Bridge is partially finished.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang underscored that the welfare of Filipinos must remain central to the country's national security strategy, stressing that food security, healthcare, and employment are as essential as traditional defense concerns. Speaking at the National Security Summit 2025 in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto said, genuine security is achieved when Filipino families are protected and able to live with dignity and hope. He described security as affordable food, reliable power, decent paying jobs, truth in news feeds, and trust in institutions, noting that it is defined not only by the absence of conflict, but by the presence of opportunity. Recto warned that weak governance, corruption, misuse of public funds, and lack of transparency continue to threaten national stability. He reaffirmed the administration's commitment to fiscal discipline and to programs that directly uplift Filipinos, including stronger food security measures, expanded universal health care, and investments in education and workforce development. The Executive Secretary also highlighted ongoing governance reforms, such as the proposed anti-political dynasty law, improvements to the party-less system, and greater public access to government spending as crucial steps toward restoring institutional integrity. Recto emphasized the need for coordinated action across all sectors, from the uniformed services and policymakers to academia, civil society, industry, and local communities. True national security, he said, requires a unified government, a resilient economy felt by every household, and a future collectively defended. He urged summit participants to treat the gathering as a renewed commitment to safeguarding not only the state but also the aspirations of Filipino families. Recto also commended the National Security Council for aligning the National Security Strategy 2024 with the Philippine Development Plan, addressing concerns from farmers facing climate uncertainty to teachers combating disinformation.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, on Sunday assured that the prices of the agency's projects will not increase, following President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to lower construction costs nationwide. DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon said they have already implemented the price reductions and have no plans to revert to the previous rates. This came after Dizon presented to the Bicameral Conference Committee their proposal allowing the DPWH to set the final pricing adjustments, noting that some projects were reduced too much while others did not receive sufficient reductions. Dizon added that Congress will decide on the final 2026 budget, and the DPWH will follow it even if it affects certain projects. For now, they are still reviewing thousands of projects, so it is not yet clear how many may be affected. He also emphasized that a department order is already in place, imposing penalties on officials who fail to comply with the mandated price cuts, and all projects will be published on the transparency portal to ensure public accountability. While waiting for Congress's final decision the DPWH assured that it will implement the prices set in accordance with the President's directive to lower costs and will ensure that all projects are transparent and aligned with the new cost guidelines.
Ang directive ng Pangulo, ibaba ang presyo. Ginawa na natin. Hindi totoo na itataas ulit ang presyo. May mga nababasa akong ganong mga balita.
Malacañang refuted claims that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. was involved in the filing of complaints against Vice President Sara Duterte before the Office of the Ombudsman, stressing that the complainants have no ties to the administration. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro issued the clarification after lawyer Ferdinand Topacio, deputy spokesperson of the Partido Democrático Pilipino or PDP, alleged that the Marcos administration orchestrated the complaint. Topacio further claimed that the charges were part of a political stunt, accusing a panic-stricken government of trying to block Duterte's potential presidential bid. Castro criticized what she called obstructionists for spreading such accusations, insisting that the complaints stem solely from allegations of Duterte's misuse of public funds. She said they will always fabricate stories to divert attention away from the corruption allegations against Vice President Sara. Castro added that they should have checked who the complainants are in this instance.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has issued 2 administrative orders granting a Service Recognition Incentive or SRI to government employees and a gratuity pay to Contract of Service or COS and Job Order or JO workers. President Marcos signed Administrative Orders or AOs number 39 and 40 on December 11th with copies posted on the official Gazette website. AO 40 authorizes a one-time SRI of up to 20,000 pesos for personnel under the executive branch. Eligible recipients include civilian employees of national government agencies or NGAs, state universities and colleges or SUCs, and government-owned or controlled corporations or GOCCs, whether holding regular, contractual, or casual positions. Uniformed personnel from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Philippine National Police, Philippine Public Safety College, Bureau of Fire Protection, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Bureau of Corrections, Philippine Coast Guard, and the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority are also covered. Funding will be sourced from available personnel services allotments under the 2025 General Appropriations Act. If these are insufficient, agencies may tap their maintenance and other operating expenses subject to budgeting and auditing rules. Employees of the Judiciary, Congress, the Office of the Ombudsman, constitutional offices with fiscal autonomy, local government units, including barangays, and local water districts may also grant the SRI depending on budget availability. Payments may be released starting December 15, 2025. Meanwhile, AO 39 provides a one-time gratuity pay for COS and JO workers in 2025. Those with at least 4 months of satisfactory service as of December 15 may receive up to 7,000 pesos, while those with shorter service periods will receive prorated amounts ranging from 4,000 to 6,000 pesos. NGAs and SUCs must request authority to use savings within 5 working days for endorsement to the Office of the President. The Department of Budget and Management will release funds upon approval. LGUs are encouraged to adopt similar measures. The gratuity pay recognizes the essential role of COS and JO workers in delivering government services amid socio-economic challenges. AOs 39 and 40 takes effect immediately upon full publication.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has appointed 3 new members to the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board, or MTRCB. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro confirmed that the latest batch of appointees has been finalized. Based on the appointment papers signed by the President on December 2nd, the new board members are Nestor Cuartero, Maria Rosario Fabregas, and Maria Cecilia Villarosa. Their terms will run until September 30th, 2026. They take the place of outgoing members Jerry Talavera, Cherry Ann Espion, and John Marini Kadungog. The MTRCB serves as the government body responsible for reviewing and classifying movies, television programs, and other audiovisual content in the Philippines. Established in 1985 through Presidential Decree 1986, the board regulates and evaluates content to ensure it meets standards suitable for Filipino audiences. It is also mandated to safeguard the public, especially minors, from harmful or inappropriate material while supporting the development of the local entertainment industry.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, has placed all units on heightened alert nationwide ahead of the start of Simbang Gabi on December 16, when millions of Catholic faithful are expected to attend dawn and evening masses leading up to Christmas. Under the Ligtas Paskuhan 2025 security plan, more than 70,000 police officers will be deployed to churches and other high-traffic areas to ensure the safety of worshippers. In a statement on Sunday, PNP Acting Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. said, the security preparations include intensified foot and mobile patrols, checkpoints, and close coordination with local governments, village officials, and church authorities for crowd management and emergency response. He ordered police commanders nationwide to secure churches and nearby convergence points, especially areas where people typically gather after Mass. Nartates said police will remain alert to theft, pickpocketing, traffic congestion, fire hazards, and other emergencies, with officers maintaining a visible presence around places of worship and surrounding streets. He also urged the public to stay vigilant, safeguard personal belongings, follow traffic rules, and report suspicious activities. In Central Luzon, the Police Regional Office 3 has launched its own holiday security operations, deploying nearly 6,000 personnel across key locations. Starting December 16, officers will be assigned to police assistance desks, churches, transport terminals, commercial centers, and tourist sites, with additional deployments on December 24th and 31st in designated fireworks zones. More than 500 force multipliers and advocacy groups will support the operations, alongside intensified anti-crime efforts and motorist assistance hubs along major roads. The security measures will remain in effect until January 6, 2026.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Bureau of Fire Protection, or BFP, announced that it will place the entire Bureau under heightened or blue alert beginning December 15 before shifting to full or red alert from December 23 to January 2nd. Under Blue Alert, 50% of personnel are required to report for duty and prepare for emergencies based on the Incident Management System. Red Alert, meanwhile, mandates 100% attendance as it is activated when a disaster or emergency is imminent. At a media forum, BFP spokesperson Senior Superintendent Bonifacio Carta said, Red Alert also requires personnel to remain in their offices or stations for round-the-clock monitoring to ensure immediate response to critical incidents. All leave applications, except for sick leave, will be suspended during this period. Carta added that the BFP will deploy 32,000 personnel nationwide for its Oplan Paalaala Iwas Paputok campaign, mobilizing regional, provincial, district, city, and municipal stations to promote fire safety during the holiday season. Under the campaign, fire trucks and ambulances will be stationed in strategic areas. Personnel will conduct public information drives and intensified inspections of pyrotechnics, electrical decorations, manufacturing and distribution facilities, high-risk establishments, and transportation hubs. They will also monitor designated community fireworks display zones. BFP public information offices are likewise boosting fire safety awareness by posting short videos, audiovisual materials, and posters across social media platforms. CARTA urged the public to inspect holiday decorations, assign a responsible person for household tasks, and strictly follow laws regulating firecrackers and pyrotechnics.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Department of Agriculture, or DA, over the weekend reported that nearly 1 million Filipinos have so far benefited from the government's Benteng Bigas Meron, or BBM program, since its launch 7 months ago. At the Saturday News Forum in Quezon City, DA Assistant Secretary Genevieve Guevara said the 20 peso per kilo rice initiative of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., rolled out in May, has already reached close to 900,000 recipients. Guevara added that the DA is working to modernize the program's registration system to ensure that only qualified beneficiaries are able to purchase the subsidized rice. The upgraded system will also allow the agency to track where and how often beneficiaries buy the 20 peso rice. She said the DA aims to expand the program to cover 15 million households by 2026. Guevara also agreed with the Department of Trade and Industry's estimate that a family can prepare Noche Buena for around 500 pesos depending on the menu. She encouraged consumers to visit Kadiwa stores where prices are typically 20 to 30% lower due to the direct farm-to-consumer model. While product choices may be limited, she said the savings can help households manage their budgets. There are currently 740 Kadiwa stores and pop-up sites nationwide, with more than 100 operating regularly.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service can be heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. Radyo Pilipinas World Service is also live on audio streaming. Just download Evox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.